Alright folks, welcome to League Número 3 of the day. Tried the red splash. Not into it. I'm not into it. So let's go back home. Let's go back home to what we already know. It's nice and proved. Let's go. They turn to my sensor and you activate Reclaimer with flagstones and hit planes and castle. Nice. And you still lost? Our green white safe space. Feels good to be home. Have I seen the blue Belcher decks? Are those the ones that also play... Wait, are you talking Legacy or Modern, Viper? I saw some blue Belcher lists. Blue Belcher lists in... Oh. We played against this player and they were ninjas. Sounds great though. When is this going to stop being cowards and print Snow Field of the Dead? I mean, it's only logical, right? Snow Field of the Dead, it's only a matter of time. Take 4. Strix. That's a good card. So if I flagstones into... Yeah, I guess it doesn't work. Take 5. Probably gonna ninjutsu the Baleful Strix. Brainstorm. Exile a certain number of no lands and you win with it. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So that's Legacy then. Cowards need to print port into Modern. Can you imagine what a Viking port might look like? It would be an interesting port to say the least. Alex Jet, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody from Alex's stream. We're playing some Green White Reclaimer here in Legacy. This deck's fun. It's a deck that I've been working on for a while. And it's pretty sweet. So they could have Fatal Push here. Yes, we're actually playing Temple Garden for those of you that are not familiar with the deck. There isn't a Field of the Dead. Speaking of, what are we doing here? We getting Wasteland? Because I have already another flagstones here. That's actually a great draw, because this means that now we can Zenith for another Reclaimer, and we still have a Zenith to go find a Dryad to go with this Valakut. And we still get to activate Reclaimer here. Yeah, we played this people earlier. We played this person earlier. Commander Ninjutsu. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. My opponent needs Force of Will or Force of Negation here. Otherwise, this game is going to be over. What a bad insurance policy. For good, you can play 8 Ice Fangs? Yeah, you can. Hell yeah, you can. Still not clear whether we want to activate Reclaimer here. We're definitely going to block with both of them if my opponent attacks. I'm going to be taking one from the Baleful Strix. So we're going to block and block. Maybe they have another force? They do. Okay, so we need them to reveal a land here. We can't fetch. We need them to reveal a land, and they reveal an... yeah. Alright, feels bad. That's good, that's good, this is good. This is good. This is bad. Thalia seems pretty medium. Prime time seems unnecessary. Tracker seems kind of slow. I guess Thalia is okay. Oh, we brought in Knuckle. That's the card that we were trying. Let's go with this. How many copies of Vestige are we playing? What's Vestige? It's kind of aggro. Playing this because if we find another white source, we get to cast Apparition. So when my opponent attacks, I'm going to Once Upon a Time in response. So this means that if my opponent wants to daze me, they are not going to be able to ninjutsu, jujitsu, whatever. Wow. Pitching Ingenious Infiltrator. Yeah, that's... I don't think my opponent has been playing this game particularly well, if I'm being honest. They don't have blue mana now? They trophy my my opponent. They are... They're not playing this game well. No, they don't have blue mana. They can't even play their dudes. Oh, they just have Oko? No. I am so confused. Also, I should have Wastelanded first, I guess. To play around Decay. I will block. I will block you. Opponent shuffles and they have a delta. Block. It's probably my best draw, I think. I guess ramming up might have been better. But yeah, ramming up and this guy were my best possible top decks there. Happy to see it. Opponent is a cantripping. Chose to not shuffle, so I guess that... I was gonna say, so I guess that they found something, but I guess that they just gave up. Finally decided to just give up. I guess I kind of want Reclamation in this matchup. It seems grindy enough for me to want this card. Maybe over Scavenging Ooze? Sure. I feel like Oof is not the card. I'm choosing to play Knight of Autumn. I feel like it has a lot more flexibility. Like the Foundry is fine, like it's a real card, but I don't think I am afraid enough of it to play a card that is just awful, right? And also the issue that I have is that if they do that, like if they go for the Foundry and you play an Oof, then they can just like answer the Oof and then they just keep going off with this. So I don't think it's that good. Force Pitching Oak. Okay. So yeah, so I'd rather I'd rather play Knight of Autumn, right? It's a lot more flexible. It does the same thing, except it actually answers the Foundry for good, as opposed to answering it before your opponent answers your answer, and then it just, you know, they just keep doing the thing. It's a great top deck. I think if they tap one to upgrade this dude, oh, they didn't. That can't be right. Like it's basically free, right? Like why would you not do that there? Seems like they have Oko though. Oh, Abrupt Decay or Trophy for the library. Trophy. I'd rather hold that Blau in case my opponent drew a ninja. I am so confused with my opponent not upgrading this servo. Just to enable push? Sure. Yeah, I probably don't like that anyway. See if we can find something good here. Titania would be great. Reclaimer is also great. Knight of Autumn. Knight of Autumn doesn't win the game, but it makes it so my opponent can't win the game either. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it seems like with them not doing anything, it feels like if I just play this, they're gonna struggle. Like once this is out of the picture, it seems like they would struggle to kill me. All it takes is one Oko though, right? Sure. I'm gonna attempt to plow this. Guess off of these basic planes. If we get dazed, that would suck, but everything else would be fine. And that was... I guess it's not really a 2 for 1, but it was a fine for 1. Alright, and then I just top deck the best possible card, and now we have won this. Trophy is bad because everyone is playing a bunch of basics, which is not always the case. Yeah, but like... It still does answer a couple of things that not every decay cannot answer, right? There's still... I guess that nobody plays Jace the Mask Sculptor, but answering Karn and answering Ursa is actually kind of important right now. Field of the Dead. Don't mind if I do. So this means that now we're going with the zombies, and we also have access to Valakut. So this game is just over now. I guess I should have activated this on upkeep. That was a slight mistake on my part. I don't think it matters, but it was a tiny mistake on my part. But yeah, I feel like if you're playing Trophy, you kind of have to play all 4 of them. If you're playing a couple of copies only, then you probably should be playing. Abrupt Decay. But I feel like if you're playing Trophy and you're playing all 4 of them, then that's probably okay. That's what Strife has been doing for years. Basically, since the printing of Assassin's Trophy, he was always the 4 trophy guy. Playing against Scullytarn. Sure. This Reclaimer's probably gonna die, so getting a second copy seems fine. Unclear how it's gonna die, but it's gonna die. Volcanic Island, so probably Rock Delver. Yep. That is the actual worst draw in the entire deck. Impressive. Impressive how we managed to sneak. We managed to pull the absolute worst draw in the entire deck. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'm gonna play. I think I'm playing Flagstones here. Okay, so never mind. So I guess I'm gonna play Field of the Dead now. Get the tap land out of the way. But getting putting Flaxstones to play there is important because my opponent might have Arcanist. They just have Oko, right? It's a cute land, by the way. I like that land, that island. So we are officially fucked now? I guess that we have... my opponent needs to draw nothing, and we need to get to Primeval Titan mana before my opponent kills me. Is that doable? It might be doable. I guess that we can just draw an Apparition, and then we might be ahead. Never mind. Never fucking mind. Yep. Alright, so now we lose. Place the Reclaimer last Modern Week in paper and won a box of 2XM, and there's a legacy event early next year. Is it time for Reclaimer to back-to-back wins? Nice. Yeah, this list has felt good. We have been getting rolled over a little bit by Delver. I guess I didn't play with this list. I think that this list is better than the one that I was playing earlier. But I guess that we could draw Dryad here. If we draw Dryad, maybe we can manage to stabilize. Fuck, man. I just need land. Like, any card. Like, I just need spells that I can cast. I just need spells that I can cast so that I can, you know, like, do stuff instead of drawing land after land after land after land. I mean, if somehow they do not find a Wasteland, they do not find a Daze, and they do not find a Force of Will, we're technically not dead right here. So we're taking 7 down to 5. And I guess that add Lightning Bolt to that list. Because Lightning Bolt also kills us. So basically most cards kill me here. Even this card might have been disruptive enough to like buy me one turn. Or like to, I don't know, to make my opponent a little bit, you know, uncomfortable. Okay. All right. On the draw, we can probably cut one of our lands, probably Wasteland, and make room for maybe the Thalia. Maybe Night of Arms, not good enough. Probably the Thalia. Maybe Library. The Titania is new in the list, so I'm not sure if I want it against Delver, but you know, there's only one way to find out. This just seems to me like a very good threat against Oko specifically. So that's why I kind of want to try it out against Oko decks, kind of to see what happens. That really sucks. That really sucks, but I guess I'm gonna keep this hand anyway. Now, watch me never find the land again. Delver. 30 lands, mid-second lander, can't wait. Oh yeah, my body is ready. And now my opponent's gonna reveal Bold to the Delver and just play a Volcanic Island and just Bolt my Delver. My Reclaimer, sorry. Sometimes I just feel like I can, you know, see the future. Alright, they didn't reveal the Bolt to the Delver, they just had it in hand, I guess. Honestly, this might be a situation where my opponent is more incentivized to bolt the Dryad Arbor. Like, they actually saw me miss a land drop. So maybe they're supposed to bolt the Dryad Arbor. Which is probably my opponent thinking about. Oh, okay. Second Delver. Can we find the land, please? Nope. We cannot find the land. Because we only have 30 in our deck, so obviously we can't find them. Unless the Delverino doesn't flip. This is gonna make me very sad. This is gonna make me very, very sad. Bottom top, so they probably found an answer to Reclaimer. Ponder. Sometimes I feel like you can play 53 lands and still miss land drops. Sometimes feels like it. Sometimes it really feels like that. So there is just gonna get no submerge. Okay, it's cool. It's cool. All right, maybe somehow we managed to find ourselves in a situation where my opponent's draw is slightly more awkward than mine, so it's fine. We're probably gonna plow one of these. I don't want to get just like outraced. We have the apparition for Anoko or an Arcanist. They are gonna get a basic island though. Oh, basic mountain. I just don't know what Delver lists are playing nowadays, man. It just seems so awkward to me. Don't submerge me, bro. So let's get a basic plains. Let's get flagstones. Put 2 cards on the bottom. Hopefully this bothers them a little bit. I could have played Spirit of the Labyrinth, but then that's just like one bolt away from being a very, very bad idea. So here, if they have Bolt, they need to, like, if they want to attack with Arcanist and kill the Reclaimer, which is probably what they should do here, that means that it's going to be 2 mana to Bolt and, like, get no value. Young PC, we can probably beat. Chain Lightning the Thalia. Sure. Okay, so it kind of was disruptive. A little bit at least. One Reclaimer and a Dream. Yeah, that's the plan. Basically, we just want to continue finding lands. That's the only thing that kind of really matters right now. Okay, attack only with Insectile Aberration. Get another basic. Get the last Flagstones. Untap. It's a green source. YOLO, I guess. So they need to have a force for this. They have it. Honestly, it's really unfortunate that there's only 2 lands in my deck that I would draw that would not trigger Field of the Dead, and we drew exactly one of those 2 lands. Pretty unlucky. Yeah, they should totally print the green Flagstones. I don't know what they're waiting for. It seems so obvious. Ponder. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 down to 3. This ooze comes down, it's gonna eat some. I might have to just bog my opponent here. Not excited about it, but they also chose to not shuffle, which is bad news. They're playing Bedlam Reveler? Holy fuck. Well, that's not something that I was considering. Alright, so like basically Delver lists can play whatever. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, whatever. You can just throw any random shit in your Delver deck and you're gonna be doing fine because Oko is just fucking broken. Okay, we're gonna see what they target with this Arcanist. A Ponder. I think I have to block the Pyromancer. Okay. This is weird. Okay. Maybe? Just maybe? Just maybe we get to stabilize here. Maybe we get to stabilize here. This is close. Guess it's not close anymore. Because my opponent's playing Dread Horde Arcanist. What a fucking joke, honestly. And like it's kind of obvious to say, oh, but they had everything, when it's just like, look at what this fucking card does, right? Like for 2 mana, like the fact that it does everything. This is just Snapcaster Mage on steroids. Like it's so absurd. I cannot believe that this card is just legal in the format. So we can't beat Lightning Bolt, so we're not gonna play around it because we can't beat it, so. It's crazy. Dice to mold, it's worthless. Yeah. It dies to a lot and doesn't have haste. That is the worst take I have ever heard. That's like saying Oko is fine because it dies to Pyroblast. That is just not true. And if you think that that's true, then I don't know. Like we're just playing a different game. I did have the Swords to Plowshares. My opponent had a Force of Will. Did the card disadvantage matter? No, it didn't, because my opponent just drew 1,000,000 cards of the Arcanist, which cost them 0 mana. I know you're upset, but I think that game was wrong. What could I have done differently? Like I'm always down to like learn, but what could I have done differently? Like I could have killed the Arcanist instead of killing the young Pyromancer. I think like my opponent has 2 Wastelands in play. I think I'm losing anyway. I missed 2 land drops though, so I don't think I could come back from that, Pokimoki. Instead of save the field from Wasteland. If I don't save the field from Wasteland, my opponent still has another Wasteland, and I cannot get ahead, right? I have used all of my Flagstones, Pokimoki. So at the point where I have used all of my Flagstones, every Wasteland actually does get me behind on lands, and I cannot get back up. I'm playing a game where I already missed a land drop twice on turns 2 and 3. So I'm already like super scrambling for lands as is. And I simply did not, I just couldn't do anything, right? Like it's damned if I do, damned if I don't. I don't think I have, that's where I think you're wrong. I don't think I've stabilized the board if I do that. Because if I do that, my opponent just bolts my my Scavenging Ooze and I don't get to eat. Because it would have cost me 1 more mana, right? So the line that I played forces my opponent to have a bolt in hand and they can't cantrip into it. Because I either play this guy. I either play this guy or I play the Apparition. I cannot play both. And if I do that, then I can't eat with the Scavenging Ooze, so I'm still in the same spot. So you might think that there was something I could have done, and maybe there was something that I could have done, but I think I would just die it in a different way. Like, I think that my opponent's cards, they would have played them differently, and it would have ended up with them winning anyway. The only thing I could have done is I could have fetched for Bojugabog earlier, so I could get around Bedlam Prevalor, which I obviously was not playing around. So that's the only thing that I would think that I could have done differently. Okay, this is actually super interesting. We did find the land for the Reclaimer. So that part is fine. Maybe I have to study a position where you're probably right that if they have Bolt in hand. Yeah, exactly. I think that that's the problem. That's the thing. It's like, I don't think I can beat all of the possible scenarios. I think that the way my hands are lined up, because my opponent is drawing perfects every turn because they have Arcanist in play, they're just drawing perfects every turn. Like, they are not drawing anything because the Arcanist engine fits itself. So that is my problem. Like, they're just gonna find whatever they need. So I can't really play around everything. All right, so let's move on to this match right here. I'm not interested in this, but this and this are possibilities, and with those things in mind, I think I want to Wasteland here, and I want to waste my opponent. It delays their turn, and it probably forces them to play into my Bojugabog. And now if they don't have another land, we're actually looking pretty good because we are going to have time to like Reclaimer into Bog. It's pretty unfortunate that we actually did draw our one of Bojugabog, so we're going to have to expose it. Okay, so my opponent's going for it. They're going to get to Dredge 16 here. Narcomoeba. But they don't have mana to activate this Coliseum. And they also have... Wow, they have nothing. They just have nothing. Got him. They have actual literal nothing. No Cabal therapies to get a couple of 2/2s. Natty bug. Natty bug. That was funny. Alright, Ferromacobs, get in here, folks. Get in here. Knuckle. This is what you're here for. This can probably go, and this can probably go. Spirit seems actually legit. Same with Collector Roof. This one's not gonna matter. This one's not gonna matter. This one's not gonna matter. How do we feel about Wasteland against Dredge? Do we have any thoughts about Wasteland against Dredge? Spirit doesn't stop Dredge replacement, right? Oh, that's a good question. Is that so? Is that so? That Spirit just doesn't do anything? Like, straight up doesn't do shit. Okay. Okay. So we definitely don't want Spirit then. I don't think Deafening Silence does enough, so I guess I'm gonna bring in Library. Path to Exile is interesting. I guess it's better than the Swords to Plowshares, right? So we go with something like this. Yeah. I was thinking about Ikorit precisely when I thought about the Path to Exile. I think we're gonna go with this. The thing about Wasteland, which I like in this kind of scenario, is the fact that Wasteland combos very nicely with my Tabernacle plan. I don't know if it's necessary. Maybe on the play. But like against Elves, I also bring in the Wasteland, for example. Well, I'm definitely keeping this opener. Yeah, wasting Arbor to kill bridges does happen as well. And the nuts, obviously, is to use Reclaimer, right? Use Reclaimer to sack Arbor. It's kind of amazing. Leyland of Sanctity, my opponent has been hurt. The psychological warfare has been won, chat. The psychological warfare has been won. My opponent has been hurt enough by the Natty Bog. Can't wait for my opponent to say Swords to Plowshares and we reveal Path to Exile. Got him. Oh, we're playing this game? Oof. I like playing this game, let me tell you what. Definitely like playing this game. We can play this game if you want, opponent. We can definitely play this game if you want. The one-off fun-off library being psycho here. Ugh. Alright, what's the play here, chat? What are we doing? We can eat both Grave Trolls, or we can just like wait to see what happens. They still have a Thug. So I guess that they have 3 Dredgers, so I'm just gonna let this go. Fairy Macabre is pretty sick there. So we just eat both Ichorids right now. And then we just seen it for oof. For Oos, sorry. And if this were to somehow not be enough, with the Fairy Macabre in hand, we still have the Knuckle, so. Okay. So they dredge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they dredge one Golgari Grave Troll. Opponent backs it in. Usually those kind of graveyard decks are, I have found to be pretty good matchups for us. Poor Dredge. I mean, on the other hand, they're choosing to play Dredge, right? So. The only bad part is that, you know, Dredge kind of shits on Delver, so I'm kind of making Delvers work for them. So that's the part I don't like too much. Assessing Will by Depths a lot last year for one of the SCG Legacy Opens and always love the graveyard matchups. Yeah, they always feel... I mean, particularly with this guy, right? Like, this guy just... This interaction cannot be understated. And then you have Zenith to go get your Scavenging Ooze. Like, you just have so many tools. They need to deal with so much stuff from you that eventually just becomes too much. His hand sounds great. I feel like I've played against this player, JST, like whatever. I played against them multiple times and I never remember what they're on. I think I need to hit my land drops here. I know that this Reclaimer is probably gonna die, but hitting land drops seems like priority number 1. Excuse me? Oh shit. Damn, son. Well, it's not expecting my opponent to be playing that. Stifle. All right. I mean, that's not great, but it's also not the worst. I think that they play 2 Stifles, if I'm not mistaken. Thespian stage. Now the Stifle? No. So if they crop rot now, we are going to be in trouble. But I feel like I am slow enough. Like I am kind of behind at this point, so I have to... Like that Stifle actually did get me pretty well. Like yeah, they're going to just combo out right now. I could have played safe and I could have gotten Caracas here. That was the other alternative. But the problem with playing Caracas there is that basically I'm just time walking myself one more thing. And that's what I was saying about hitting land drops earlier, right? Like I need to be able to hit my land drops. And like I'm missing land drops as is already. So now we have to draw a Palau or something like that. And we didn't, so we died. Okay, so that's good. This is good. That's it. Collector Oof can go, Butchky Bog can go. And Primeval Titan. I'm always interested in whether I should be bringing in Sevin's Reclamation in this matchup, in this kind of matchup or not. Like against something like Storm or Doomsday, you know, like some decks against which you know that they're gonna be like decaying or pushing your stuff. Whether in a situation like that I should be bringing in Sevin's Reclamation. And even more so in a matchup like this one, specifically because of... what am I trying to say here? What's the name of the card? Wasteland. Yeah, with Sevin's Reclamation, you can actually get back Wasteland. I don't think that we want a Rasta. Like, it is definitely serviceable, but very often they just have like the thing that gives protection from green, so they just attack past her. Like, I haven't really been loving a Rasta in this matchup specifically. Like, 4 mana is just so much. So I'd rather just have Titania. I think I'd rather just have Titania and just go with that, you know? I still don't think I should have Oof in this matchup. It's gonna have situations where it's good, but I still don't think I should have Oof. Yeah. We have Path to Exile, so I think we have to spend this turn to go get Reclaimer. And then next turn we can activate Reclaimer plus hold up Waste. Or Path to Exile. Like if they have, what's his name, right? Like if they have Not of This World, we're fucked, but... This is kind of just what it is. I guess I'm gonna do this first because it means that my opponent can't They can't crop rotation from the thing that gives protection. Flusterstorm. Yeah, I guess Fluster is something. Play no basics at all. Sylvan's Crying. Okay. I mean, I couldn't play around Fluster, right? And here, I guess I'm getting Caracas. So I don't lose to Simian Spirit Guide into Crop Rot. Okay. Maybe on the draw, collect roof. Ugh. I don't know. If you don't wasteland, you could pay for it. Yeah, but I definitely much rather play around Crop Rot, right? So I have to choose one or the other. I can't do both. Skyrim Genius seems kind of medium. So maybe Collector Roof is more disruptive. I feel like I maybe on the draw I want Arasta over Titania because 4 mana versus 5. This hand has no interaction whatsoever. This hand has no cards whatsoever. Sure, let's keep this one. Let's bottom that one and let's bottom that one. Secretly the best one drop in Legacy and Modern too. I mean, it's not so secretly in Modern. And also it's a fact of, are you talking about creatures? Because if you're talking about 1-drops period, then Brainstorm is better than Reclaimer. Pioneer as well. We might be stretching it a little bit too much at that point. That was a great draw. Now Flagstones up the top. Let's go. Man. What are they gonna name? Reclaimer, Caracas, Wasteland. Something good? Zenith. What is this Zenith getting? It's not getting another Reclaimer. But I think it's getting... I think it's getting a Dry Diver. I mean, we're dead to everything, aren't we? We're just literally dead to everything. And I can't even get value from Raminap next turn because I am forced into playing Caracas. So we lose to Wasteland, we lose to... Just let's do every fucking thing. Apparition or Knight of Autumn are my two best draws right here. Hexmage, sure. It's not a card. Well, I think Oko is better than Uro. I think Oko is better than Uro. Still don't like my spot. Yep, I think we're just dead anyway. So we're dead to Stifle, we're dead to just so many things here. Not of this world, yeah. Just a million different things that we died to here. Not too much to do, we're just moving on to 5 and our opponent had the needle for our turn 1 reclaimer. No, I mean it wasn't really the most exciting game. If we had found a Wasteland, maybe we could have had a shot. Or if we could have found like a Swords to Plowshares, maybe. Caracas plus Swords, maybe it's enough to get there. Story is we just couldn't find anything. Okay, I'm gonna keep the sand. Vesuva kind of awkward here, but it's okay. Elves. My God of Las Caracas used to be a thing. Those were simple times, remember? Remember when you could do that? Real elf, fake elf. Probably not true, but... Alright, that could have been a lot worse. Could have been a heck of a lot worse. What's my plan here? How do I win this game? How do I win this game from here? I guess I have to Thalia to not get natural ordered out of this game. So Thalia seems an important part of my plan. And then next turn we can Apparition the Wirewood Symbiote. Wish for Tabernacle. That would be great. They wasted a glimpse. Maybe they have like one of those, like, you know, maybe they have like a Glimpse heavy hand, you know. That's why Thalia is kind of important to me, you know, not losing here. Yeah, so Thalia slightly disrupts both Glimpse and Natural Order, so it seems important to like just establish this Thalia on the board. This reclaimer is gonna take forever to get going though. Elvish Visionary. Yep, this guy has to die. They're gonna get Dryad Arbor. And I guess that I have to start attacking now, right? Like, the only way my opponent can set up a good attack is if they have... What's his name? If they have Hoof. So... then it's time to get in there and start to clock them. Here comes the Dryad Arbor. Yep. We can waste the Arbor next turn, but it doesn't really do too much because my opponent can just save it with Warrior and Ranger, so... not too great, unfortunately. There goes the Glimpse. Allosaurus Shepherd. You got it. I don't think I'm too worried about that guy. Not yet, at least. The problem is this Reclaimer can't really go get anything, right? Until I find the Dryad. So I guess the way that I win this game is I find the Dryad. So I have to find the Dryad. And if I find a Dryad, that can potentially get me into a situation. And they don't find the Cradle. Because if they find the Cradle, I'm just fucking dead. But... try it. That's the wrong one. I guess when I said the word Dryad, I should have been a little bit more specifically, huh? That's hilarious. Yeah, we're just gonna jam. Is this 6 damage? So 3, this is 7. So this sets up a 2-turn clock. But they can, yeah, no, I think I'm just dead here. Because this is actually 6 mana, but they have to tap their dudes to make 6 mana. So if they tap their dudes... what happens if they tap their dudes? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The other swing for 5. So they can bounce this and then tap one of their guys to block. I think that's fine. Yeah, okay. I think attacking... basically, I just think that blocking is a losing proposition, so I'd rather attack. This brings him down to 7. And there's so many ways that I'm dead right here, right? If they have Cradle, I lose. If they have Natural Order, I also lose. Like, there's just like a million decks that a million ways that I'm dead here. But at least this, yeah, okay, so we just lose to the Cradle. If I am going to win that game, it requires my opponent to basically have nothing, and for me to untap and actually start putting enough pressure that my opponent needs to start chump blocking or at least trading with my stuff. So I feel like that is the correct way to go about things. Spirit of the Labyrinth, and that's it. Tracker can go, and Knight of Autumn can go. Yeah, Collector Oof for another apparition. Gotta walk the dog, thanks. Oh, yeah, my pleasure, Newton. Thanks for hanging out. We got the combo. Okay. Sand is kind of okay. And this time around, because we're actually on the play, I'm going to prioritize... Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I was going to say I'm going to prioritize activating the Reclaimer instead of developing my board with Thalias and stuff. So even if we don't find... I mean, now we can't, obviously. So just made our decision for us. But like even if we did have the option to Thalia, I would be doing this anyway here, because now we actually have a Knuckle in the deck, which is the plan. But in order to enact our Knuckle plan, we need to make sure that we are ahead on board. And Wasteland is, by the way, super important for the Knuckle plan as well. Black-green. Abrupt Decay. Opponent playing Elven control. I have to assume that they have more black cards than white cards. Just go get Knuckle here. Of course, there's no use in going to get Dryad Arbor because the Dryad would be paying for itself, right? So this basically blanks the Cradle, and the idea is we're gonna get Wasteland with this Reclaimer on our next turn. But in order for, you know, not die to this Gaia's Cradle, I need to make sure that they are tapping it for the turn. We still die to second Cradle plus Natural Order, I think. Maybe not, actually. Maybe we're good against that, but... the Savannah is for... sometimes they play Swords to Plowshares in the sideboard, or Deafening Silence. And in the main deck, they play the 6-mana Archon. Those are usually the white cards that I've seen of Elves. So, yeah, I mean, in this case, it would be... What I am trying to not die to, at least, would be the... the Swords to Plowshares. I still think that going for the black card is better. For the black land is better. Still get to make a shit ton of mana, but... Oh, give me a break. Really? That's their hand? How am I supposed to beat that? What the actual fuck? Cool. All right, yeah, Elves is a bad matchup in case you didn't know. All right, what did we lose to? We lost to Depths because actually we lost twice to Depths, and both games kind of felt like they could have been won. So I definitely need to practice more against Depths because that matchup is super tricky, and I feel like our Depths matchup should be okay. But somehow I find myself like losing that matchup every now and then. So definitely I have a lot to improve there. Then we lost against Boggles, you know, fuck that, whatever. And then we lost against Delver. Where is it here? Maybe I should not be playing Titan at all. What if we cut Primeval Titan? I mean, the thing is that Primetime is here for the control matchups, right? It's basically a two-door target. Knight is the best card versus Depth. Knight is not a good card in this deck. I've tried it. Trust me, I really want Knight over the Reliquary to be good. It is one of my favorite cards ever printed, but it's not good in this shell. So what if we cut Primetime, bring Arasta, and add another copy of Path to Exile? Maybe another Spirit of the Labyrinth. Fourth copy of Skyclave is another option. It's probably overdoing it on the Skyclave thingy. Second Tracker or something like that could also be interesting. Kind of like another grind card, another grindy engine E card. There's also the possibility. Okay, let's try this. Is that crazy? All right, Stabs, thanks for hanging out. Is this crazy? Just playing Spirit in the main deck instead of Thalia? I guess Spirit is a bad word to put here. Let's use the word Labyrinth. There we go. Is it possible that Spirit of the Labyrinth is just like a better hate bear than Thalia is right now? Then we have Titania, Collector, oof. Okay, I'm not gonna play another league today, but this concept interests me. This concept definitely interests me. So I'm probably gonna try out something like that the next time. Also, I still have not been able to cast this card. This guy has been in my cyber for like 2 or 3 weeks at this point, and I've not cast it a single time, I don't think. Man, I really want to cast it. I can never cast it. It's brutal. Okay. So I guess that's gonna be it. This might be terrible though. This might just be heinous, but I mean, there's only one way to figure out, I guess. That's not gonna be happening today, though. Thank you so much for checking out the stream. Hope you enjoyed to see me doing a bunch of losing, but I feel like I learned a couple of things today. I feel like it was one of those, you know, practice sessions where I end up, I'm feeling a little bit more like, huh, okay, so there were like a couple of moments, particularly in both of the depths matchup, where I'm like, maybe I could have, maybe there was something I could have done better at some point, you know what I'm saying? So usually those leave a bittersweet taste in my mouth, but in a good way. In a good way. Like it was bitter that I lost, but at the same time it was kind of sweet that, you know, it's something interesting came up. So that's gonna be it then. Have an amazing rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.